It's AJ from the Kingsville Public Library, and today we're going to make a fun bunny sign to kind of get us in the mood for spring, especially if you're all cooped up. So what you're going to need, and you'll be able to find these at the bottom of our Facebook page in the comments, you're going to need some glue, some scissors, a pattern, a writing utensil, craft foam or cardstock, and some pom poms, okay? And of course, some kind of board to mount your little sign or make your little sign out of. And you can use cardboard. I've actually used a leftover piece of floor tile, and it's worked out pretty well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find a bunny pattern. Now maybe you're talented enough that you can just draw a little bunny in the shape of this. I am not. I actually cheated and used my Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, make sure you join the library's Cricut class when we get back up and running. But in the meantime, if you don't have a Cricut, you can find a pattern online. I actually found one very similar to the one that I used on the Cricut in a coloring book, and so I just traced it. And you're going to trace your bunny onto a piece of cardstock, your little bunny pattern. You'll trace it, and I'm just going to act like I'm tracing it. And you'll have your little bunny traced. You'll take your scissors and you'll cut it out. And again, you don't need to watch me cut it out, because if you're doing this, hopefully you know how to use scissors. And once you get it cut out, you'll have this little fun bunny guy. You'll take your piece of craft foam or your cardstock and you'll trace him so that it looks like this. And yeah, I already had it traced. I'm not that good. Again, you'll take your scissors and cut your little traced bunny out so that it looks like this. And you'll do that with your different colors, picking whichever patterns you like, whatever colors you like, until you have your 4 little bunnies, or maybe you want to have 5, or maybe you want to have 3. If you've ever done a craft class with me, you know I like to say this is not first grade art class from 1970. This is your project. Make it look however you want. So once you have your little bunnies, you're going to just lay them out so that you know how it looks. And as you see on this sign, I also added a little welcome. If you wanted to put a different message, you could put a different message on there. You could put spring, or you could put your family's name and make it a nice little welcome sign, whatever makes you happy. And again, if you're talented and creative enough, you can just put it on the back of a piece of cardstock, write it, or trace it from somewhere else. But remember, it's kind of like an iron-on, so if you put it on the back, flip it over so that when it's front ways, you're reading the right direction, okay? So once we have, and again, I did my little welcome. I cheated because I have no talent. I cut mine on the Cricut. You have your little welcome, and you have your little bunnies, and I kind of scrounged around in my craft stuff, and I got some fun little silk flowers. And you can add a nice little piece of ribbon, whatever you got around the house. So now you're just going to take your glue, whatever kind of glue you're using, and you can use regular glue, you can use a hot glue gun. Remember 2 things about the hot glue gun is that you never ever lay it on its side, because then the glue bleeds into your insides and it kills your glue gun. And that the glue gun is very hot, so make sure that you don't burn yourself. And we are just going to glue our little bunnies right onto our little wood or cardboard or whatever you've been able to scrounge up around the house. And speaking of scrounging up around the house, when the library reopens, we will be having our Trash to Treasure class, which is all about finding cool stuff around the house to make into cool and new stuff, which this is kind of, in this case, what we're doing here, because I've taken this leftover floor tile and we're turning it into a fun little sign. So now your little bunnies are nicely glued on there. I'll show you your nice little bunnies are nicely glued on there. The other tip I'll give you about a glue gun, when you have those little like spider webs or things hanging around on there, wait until your glue is dry to pull them off. If you try pulling them off before your glue is dry, you're liable to kind of loosen up your shape. So clean it up at the end. I know you just want to pick it, I know I do, but resist that urge to pull those off until it's dry, otherwise you might mess up your project. So then we're going to pick out our little bunny tails. And we're just going to take it. And if you don't have pom poms and you have some yarn laying around, there's a lot of really cool YouTube videos that show you how to take some yarn and turn them into pom poms. But I do have my little pom poms here, and so I'm just going to put a little blob of glue on each one of my little bunnies here, so that we got fun little cotton tails going on. And if you're in need of craft supplies and you didn't know it, I did talk to my friends at Joann's, and they are doing curbside pickup. So if you are practicing good social distancing, you can get online and order some craft stuff and do the curbside pickup. They are available to do that. Now when you glue your welcome on, this is a little more tricky. So you're going to kind of lay it out to see how you want it to go. This is going to be my daughter's, and it's probably going to drive her crazy, but I'm going to do it a little asymmetrical. She would want it nice and straight, but we're gonna turn it, and she's actually filming, and she's shaking her head. So I guess I'm going to go straight across. Yes, okay. So I'm going to go straight across, but remember, it's yours, so you do whatever you like. So you're only going to, because the glue dries really fast, of course, if you're using liquid glue, you're not going to have this problem, but if you're using a glue gun, you're going to want to do about half, get it stuck on there, and then go ahead and do the other half. And if it starts to dry up, take the tip of your glue gun and just kind of stick it right onto the glue that you've already put. A lot of times that'll be enough to heat it back up so that you can get it stuck without big bumpies. Just gonna put our little E on there. That's just slightly asymmetrical, little mom touch on there. And so then we have our nice little welcome on there, and then we're just going to take, like I said, a couple of these fun little silk flowers, whatever you got laying around the house. Maybe you got, something stuck up in the attic that you don't put out anymore, that you're ready to rip apart, because that's what I did. These are scraps from something else that I just am putting on here to kind of give it some color. And again, it's your project. You can do whatever you like. And then I had some ribbon, as you can see with this one. You can take some ribbon and you can attach it to the back so that it hangs. Because I used a floor plank, if you're using some wood, you can actually put like a picture hanger on here, whatever suits your needs. But then when you're all done, you have this fun little spring sign to hang on your door, and as soon as company's able to come to your house, they'll be able to admire your fun sign. So join me again tomorrow. We'll have another fun project. I hope everybody's staying well and staying safe. And check out the Kingsville Public Library's Facebook and web page to see all the other fun things that we've got going on for you. Hope to see you real soon. Thanks.